Sunni Tha Rapper.
Gang, gang.
What's good? Welcome to Uncensored Wisdom.
What's up?
Man, you already know what it is, man. You been on fire lately. We've been seeing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I seen a whole transition. It just flipped. For sure. Okay. So, how did you get started? Like, how'd you get into music? Like, when did this start? You was a kid?
Definitely. So I used to write poetry in 4th grade. I think is when I first started, like, becoming the most active with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I fell in love with Tupac. My mom, I'm from the West Coast. My mom from the West Coast, so I heard a lot of like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, growing up. But I gravitated towards Tupac. I don't know. He was just amazing. I didn't even know what he was talking about back then, of course, but it was just like, I don't know. He was amazing. And then when I got a little older and I started really getting intrigued with music, of course, I started doing my research. Just naturally, I fell in love with like the Fugees and Tupac and like Lauryn Hill, of course. So those are like my major, probably influences, just in general. Not necessarily their sound, but just like their brand, their motivation, what they stood for, them authentically being themselves. I think those parts is what I took from them.
Right.
So, like I said, I started writing music, and then I got into a group at a young age, and then from there, it was like me and my best friends doing music. And it just evolved. It just kept evolving. From, of course, us being a group, to us getting signed, to us leaving, and then to me being a solo artist. So it kind of just, everything transitioned. But the moment that I started like actually pursuing music, when I was a teenager, I was like, okay, like this is what I want to do. But I was like afraid to really like be like 100% in it, because like my mom, my grandpa, they wanted me to go to school, do the whole 9. I was like, I want to be a rapper.
Right.
Like, but I think eventually, well, not even eventually, because my mama always knew it was a passion of mine, but she didn't know if I was gonna like grow out of it or want to do something else. But then when I got signed, she was like, okay, this is what you want to do, this is what you're doing.
Right, then it got to be taken serious.
Then it was like, whatever you're gonna do, be the best at it. So
right.
Now she been like in my ear ever since, just like, being a typical mom, like trying to make sure that, because when you're an artist, sometimes like, because you have such a free will life, sometimes you don't always look at everything like it's a job. My mama be wanting me to look at everything like it's a job. Like, get this amount of rest before you go, and do this and do that. And you don't need to be out because you about to do this. And sometimes I be like, no, it's all, but then I be getting where she coming from, because it's like, when you do get bigger, you do have to prioritize. You know what I mean? Like, what's important, and kind of set yourself different from like you and your friends. Like, I'm an artist that every single day, every minute of the day counts for me. I don't get a day off.
Right.
I don't get a time off. I don't get anything off. Like, everything is content. Everything is work. I'm always having to be in my presence, be in my image, be in my brand. So, yeah, I've just grown to realize that. I think me going through artist development when I was signed definitely probably helped me to realize how important it is as a woman in the industry, and how much more we're picked apart, how much more we're judged, how much more we're looked at it. Every single thing we do, wear, say. Like, it's just, Right. And it's not saying to conform who you are for people. It's just being aware and being mindful.
Right.
So I think me going through that definitely helped me. But that's kind of the origins of how everything got started. Like, and this is where I'm at right now. I'm thankful for like the background of me being in a group, because I feel like that background has definitely helped me to be 100% confident in who I am. Because when you're in a group, you kind of get to mask your strengths and weaknesses. Nobody really knows what strengths everyone is and what weaknesses, because we were able to come together and kind of mask it. You know what I mean? And just like use each other for what we was, good at. So when I became a solo artist, it was like, okay, everything is on me. They're gonna see me. I'm making the final decision on what I want people to see, or what I want my music to sound like, or what I want my brand to be. So I was just like, all right, what we about to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking everything I've learned from all these 3 different lives I've lived, and I pressed the gas. And immediately when I became a solo artist, I feel like people saw the talent of the performing, they saw the talent of the music. I was immediately getting paid for my services. Like, I wasn't you know what I mean, like no amateur to it. You know, I think people was like, okay,
she already polished.
Business. Right, I was already polished. They just waiting on them for me to pop. Like, it's like, that's pretty much what I hear all the time. Like, everybody's just like, I don't understand why you're not signing. Like, everybody comes to me all the time. I'm like, but you know, it's okay, because everybody's time is different. Like, I don't know if I'll be signed to a major label or if I'll come across a partnership or I'll come across an investor. Because I do feel like the moment that gas do hit, I'm going to be more than music. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I feel like I have a brand that's just way more than music. The way women are so receptive to me and the way that they tell me how much confidence I give them and the way that, like, when people actually genuinely meet me and the stories that I hear from other people who never meet me and then they have people who do meet me, it's like, it's nothing but, ever nothing but positivity. And they just feel like I'm like a breath of fresh air. Right. And of course, like, I want to be that. I don't actually try, though. I think it's just like I dead ass naturally do this because I dead ass know what it feels like to not have support or to not feel like you don't have like that feminine support and motivation around you. You know what I mean? Because like women are actually the hardest on each other on social media. Like when I get posted by blogs, it's women eating me apart. It's dudes too, but they more so got something to say about the music.
Right.
Women have something to say about my body.
They trying to break you down.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to break you down. And so that's why I built a community. Like my HBICs is a community. We support each other. We help each other. We're there for each other. Of course, you're going to have people who become closer than more, but they all, like these are people who came from all different backgrounds, different walks of life, and I brought them together. And they created a community because all they felt was good vibes where they go. Like, I'm that type of person, when you come out with me, I don't care who in the section or who at the party, we're going to all talk, y'all going to all communicate. I'm going to introduce everybody. I'm going to make everybody follow each other. That's the vibe I feel like needs to happen when women are in the room because naturally competition is there in people's heads.
Right.
Because when you don't make them feel comfortable, they automatically go to negativity of, well, is she looking at me or is this going on? You know what I'm saying? But when you make them feel comfortable and you put them in the room and make them actually feel like they're there, because I hate going out and people invite me places and everybody just staring at each other. Or it's only like two people talking over there, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, what am I here for?
They just wallflowers.
What am I here for?
So you said the HBICs, right?
Yes.
So this is an online community. This is
my fan base. This
okay.
is kind of like.
This is how you name like the barbs. You name
yeah.
it. Okay,
so
I got you.
You got the you could be the head bitch in charge. You could be the head boy in charge. You could be the head boss in charge. You can be whatever you want to do as long as you're in charge. Right. And I feel like that's just my motto of just you going in a room and taking charge of your presence there and just making sure that your presence is known and that you handling your shit just in, not even in a situation, just in life in general. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like once I became a solo artist, I just took control of my own life, took control of my own brand. It was no longer no excuses about anything else or anybody else. It was all on me. So I had to make whatever I wanted to make happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's you taking charge of your life. That's you taking charge of your passion or whatever you're trying to go after. So the HBICs is the same thing. Like, I motivate them to just do whatever it is. Never too late to go after your passion. I don't care what it is. Like, I feel like people put time frames on things and they be like trying to plan their lives out. By the time I'm this age, I should be doing this, or I want to keep it. Like, baby, just get through it. Like, right. Just keep moving, keep one foot at a like, because when you do that, you get disappointed in life because life never goes the way we plan it to be.
Correct.
So you just got to stand in it, take charge, and one day at a time, and just know that every day you're getting up doing the best that you can, be the best that you can. And that's what I be telling my friends, and that's what I tell. And that's another thing. It's like, I probably make a lot of my fans feel like friends, even the ones who aren't like in my immediate circle. Like, when they come out and they see me, I don't care who you are. I don't care if we only talk through social media. If you come out to see me perform, I'm going to make my way to you. Right. I'm going to be available for you to come talk to me, see me, because this is the part of my career where I'm able to be accessible to people. I won't be accessible eventually. So people eventually won't have that many memories and stories with me. Right. Only people in that certain, certain space and certain level. If they aren't matching me, then cool. Or if they are part of my immediate circle. But a lot of these other people won't always have that opportunity. So I just feel like it's important for me to give that to people right now while I can and just be in the moment of where I am in my career. So that's why my fans are just everything. I turn them into to friend fans. Like, you know what I mean? I make them feel like they know me. You know what I mean?
Right.
to the best of my ability. Because, you know, you can't be completely, like, too transparent with people because, you know, people just,
it might go left.
Ain't shit. But I can at least give you the opportunity to show me differently, you know what I mean? But
right.
So yeah, like that's my HBICs. That's what I have created within these 2 years of me being a solo artist, and it's growing, you know what I mean? Like I get people every day randomly who'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on my HBIC shit. Like, I be like, oh, period.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I be amazed. Like, people be using my terms. Like, they be quoting my lyrics when I go out. I see people, they be like, I know I look good, little nigga. Like, whatever their favorite song is, they gonna quote it to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these are all little small things to some people, but these are big things for me that I've always wanted since I started doing music. And now I'm getting it on a whole other level, independently, on my own, as a solo artist. So it's kind of like, wow, like, these are some really big accomplishments for me. So without the fans, I wouldn't be here anyway. So I just feel like they're like really, really important. So
facts.
Really important.
Fans are the most important. So, okay, so these last 2 years you've been a solo artist. And from afar, I've been watching because I've been watching you for a very long time.
Right. You knew me from when I was in the, well, I don't know you was in the group. You knew me from the duo.
Right. Yeah, not the group.
From
not the group.
Okay,
not the group.
yeah.
When you went solo, I was like, whoa, I'm gonna say 180 because 360
right.
you come back around.
Everyone always says 360,
right.
but really it's a
so
180, but we get it.
Right. So the 180 happened, and I was like, man, I didn't even know. Right. I didn't even know it would go in that direction. So what fueled the idea of your brand? The solo brand.
The solo brand. Well, to be honest, I always been probably this way once I did become confident in like my sexuality and stuff like that. But when you're in a group or when you're in a duo, you have to match and kind of like meet people halfway.
Right.
Because their image they might not go as far as, like they might not go as left as you want to go with their image. They might want to go to the right. So if I want to go to the left and you want to go to the right, we got to meet each other halfway, which means that it may a little bit of piece of me over here and there's a little bit of piece of her over here. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of like had to mix and match with each other. So it didn't always probably obvious what I was or what she was. It was kind of like what we was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like when I became a solo artist, I've always been into fashion. I couldn't really express my fashionness as much as I wanted to when I was in a duo because we had two different fashions. So I did what I could to bring us together, but when I got on my own, everything was customized. I got with a seamstress who also can design for me, and I just started designing whatever my heart felt in that moment. And then I kind of started seeing, you know, similarities, and I started kind of realizing like what I like, what I don't like, what I want to look like, how I don't want to wear my hair. And I'm always about giving looks. So with me, mine is very versatile and changeable because fashion, you have to give looks for. You kind of can't stay the same all the time when you're really trying to like give the art in the whole look.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I started just tapping more into that and making sure that I wanted my brand to mesh with fashion because I want to be invited to New York Fashion Week. I want to be on covers. I want to be doing commercials along with my music. And I know that you have to match or like you have to be like eye-catching to these brands. They want to be like, yeah, I know that she could be in my brand. Or, yeah, and they have to see it. You know what I mean? So I kind of knew I wanted to go that route. So I just kind of like, all right, let me go straight into gear with my image. Because like I said, when I was signed, Matthew expressed to us how important it was for a woman to have an image. It's like 80% image and 20% music damn near.
Right.
And it could be any image. Like we see with Sexy Red. Her image is hood red. But it's an image that people are imitating because that's the lane.
Right.
There are hood reds. There's plenty of hood reds out there who dress just like she dressed and she's sticking to it. That's her brand. That's what she want to be. So that's what she portrays. Like, you know what I mean? Now, unfortunately, maybe some brands won't never come to her because that don't match.
They don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just chose what I wanted certain brands to come at me, so I knew that I would have to look a certain way. You know what I mean? And then I'm able to also have that creativity and expression through my custom outfits and my performance outfits because that's how I get to express Sunni Tha Rapper. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I just knew. I mean, I had my phases. I did go through like my Aaliyah tomboy phase.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like it matched with the time era that I was doing it. I feel like that was the time era everybody was doing it anyway. But I knew that I always wanted to be like clean cut.
Mm.
Like I wanted to be able to be picked up at any time by like, you know, magazines and stuff like that. So that's pretty much like the motivation behind, I guess, my image and the brand. Like I just really wanted to mesh, you know, badass, aggressive rapper with fashionista. Bam.
So when you was with Matthew Wade, rewind all the way back, that was your education and brand around that time. Mm-hmm. So it clicked then, or did it click later?
It definitely clicked later. It didn't click then. I don't even think I had time for anything to really click, because only thing I feel like that really clicked with me was probably like, I learned off rip that you always have to look like an artist wherever you go. Mm-hmm. I feel like that definitely like clicked in immediately, only because he pounded that in our head, and for two, once we actually did it, we started seeing the difference in people respecting us and things like that. So I immediately feel like I picked up on that. I definitely think I immediately picked up on the confidence thing. Like I already was getting into my confidence performing, but when we signed with him and him having us like rehearse and be in front of the mirror all the time, and him just really kind of pumping motivation into us, because he did do that a lot, because he knew how important it was as women to like feel good and look good. Right. And it was like, that's the only way you're gonna be able to be your best self in front of these people when you go to these interviews or when you go to these performances. So I was just like, all right, I gotta see how important it is for me to have all of the confidence on stage. So I think that my confidence and me performing came from when I was signed. Like it put me on a whole nother level, because it was like, he kind of explained it, like you can go up there and just be a character. Like just go up there and just like find a spot on the back of the wall and just like give it your all. Like, you know what I mean? Right. So that definitely was like probably the number one things that I feel like I learned while I was there. And then like the branding, and it's just because my weight was always an issue when I was signed. Because I was the bigger one, and even looking back, I probably wasn't even as big as I thought, but because everybody to my left, because the person to my left and my right was smaller than me, image-wise, of course, I looked like the big one. Right. So I don't know. It was like, don't get twisted. I worked out. I did what I did what needed to be done to get there. But at the same time, it wasn't still as important to me then. Like I was just like, this nigga stupid. Like, love your body. Like da 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 da. Which I'm still on that now. But I also understand the importance of like how you look when you're up there performing. Because I could see if I was one of the performers who just rapped while I'm up there. Right. I'm up there doing dance moves, full choreo. You know what I mean? So sometimes things just look a little better when you move. And you look a certain way while it's moving. You know what I'm saying? It's just the overall aesthetic to things. And I started realizing like that, you know what I mean? Like, and I just wanted my body to get to the point where I'm okay with how I look looking back at the camera. Right. You know what I mean? Once I get to that, I'm good. I don't care about anything else. I have to be okay with it. You know what I mean? It still was, like when I was in a group, I still was very shy in a way towards the camera and things like that because of my weight. And I knew you look bigger on camera. He used to always tell me that, like, you gonna look bigger on camera. That's why it's important for you to get down to a smaller size. You know what I mean? So I think that my weight thing probably was the biggest thing that I fought on so much. Like, and now that I'm a solo artist, I'm like, oh, okay, it's important. Like, right. Let me stop denying it to myself like it's not important.
Okay, so boom, now you solo. We fast forward back. Right. Now you solo. What comes along with you going in the studio making music by yourself?
What you mean, what comes along?
How did things change? Was it a big change for you, or was it like, oh, I just do stuff by myself, and ain't no big deal?
It definitely was a big change, because everything was my brain, my ideas, off rip. You know, when you in a group, you bounce off of each other. And there's sometimes some people who always starting as a fan. She always started, I always finished. I was good at finishing the song, she was good at starting the song. So I feel like that was always our mechanism to how we made music. Even when we was in a group, it was a majority us two making the music. The other one just kind of came in and did her verse. It really wasn't, it was always me and her. So when we became just me and her, it was still easy for us to bounce off of each other, but I also never was fully doing my own idea. And then she would get on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was the difference. So when I became a solo artist, it was like, all right, well, this is all me now. I don't have nobody else's opinions or, you know, anything like that. So let's see what I come up with. And I knew that from artist development, that your sound has to match your image. So if I'm out here trying to be a baddie and be a fashionista and be somebody that girls look up to and have the confidence of knowing I'm that bitch, my music has to reflect that. So I just tapped into that side of me and was like, I want to be turning up on stage, and I want to be having women yell my lyrics back at me because they in that mode where they like, yeah, I'm that bitch. I'm thick, I'm this, I'm that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was kind of, I always just go into the booth thinking of like my girls, really.
Right.
Like my girls, or just like, you know, like women in general, what it is, like the vibe of the world and what we on. Like, we all on self-care, we all on, I could do my own shit, but nigga, what can you bring to the table? Or we on in the world, like, we don't give a fuck about all this shit. We want princess treatment. Like, this is what the world is on when it comes to women. So I feel like when you smart, when you making music, you gotta pay attention to what the world is on.
Right.
Because that's how your shit get to trending. That's how people want to use your audio. Everybody doing these walking videos. So everybody want a video where they can show off how they look. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have music that match that.
Right. So, what do you pay attention to the most to see what the world is going? What do you look at? You look at blogs, vlog. What do you pay attention to?
Sometimes blogs, of course, social media. TikTok now, I'm starting to pay more attention to. And the reason why is because even the major artists are making music now that they know can at least trend on TikTok too. They're not no longer just trying to make music for their audience. They're like, okay, I know that TikTok is gonna get my shit to where I need to go, so let me at least make sure it got something going on that can relate to the TikTok audience.
You're using it as a marketing tool.
TikTok people are theatrical. They want to act out things. They want to be able to have some type of funny, witty caption that still kind of relates to what you're talking about, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like all of those things you got to think about, not too hard, but just a little bit. Just be mindful of it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we can't fight it. I was fighting TikTok in the beginning. I was like, I don't need TikTok. They gonna fuck that. But now I'm like, it's really no way of getting around it, only because too many people are shooting through the music industry through it. They're skipping a lot of lines because of TikTok. And it might seem very unfair to someone who's talented or someone who takes their craft in a different way, but at the same time, it's like that's just social media at this point. Like, that's the internet. Viral content, it has no rules no more to viral content. Viral content is just viral content to people. It's whatever people relate to and keep reposting for the whole world to see.
Right.
Moral of the story. So it could be the craziest shit, the silliest shit, or it could be something sad, or it could be something motivational. Like, you just never know what's gonna catch. So now at this point, you gotta do content kind of low key for everything. You just have to like be more just transparent with people, because you just never know what that one thing that's gonna like take off.
Facts.
And that's something I've been trying to even help with myself, because I feel like I'm one of them people where I don't like to post stuff if it's not perfect, or if I don't look a certain way, or if it's just not up to my part when it comes to just like what I want the world to see. But at the same time, I'm starting to realize like people like when they see you regular.
The natural,
the regular, the in your mode, in your house, sweatpants, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, like, or on the way to the store, like, people are okay with that now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to be like, all right, well, you're going to have to start being okay with it, because making content, or not making content, just able to give content every time you're dolled up, it becomes a lot. Like,
yeah, because I was going to say, being an artist,
it becomes a lot.
You have to damn near always be perfect all the time in order to put stuff out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm starting to see, because that will hold you back. Because if you can't, you know, like JT, Cardi, all these people, they got people who come to their house every day and do their makeup and their hair. Like, they got people who are on hand with them, so it's easy. And then we be thinking that we seeing them look perfect all the time, so it makes us feel like, you know, we trying to aspire to that level, so we got to do that too. But at the same time, like, nah, like, they kind of came up with such a little different. Time. You know, it was like 5 years ago, it was different on social media. So now it's just like, you got to pay attention. Like, people are just so much more free when it comes to things. Like, so much more free, to the point where it's just like oversaturated. And now it's like, you just got to like keep throwing it out there. Like, literally, like, you cannot waste a moment.
Right. Every moment is a moment.
For real. And that's what I said to myself. And I'm like, okay, Sunny, you gotta you gotta just be okay with just randomly picking up the camera, even if it's like, even if you don't look right, even if you ain't got no nails on, even if your hair not perfectly curled, whatever. Like, just pick it up. Just say what you need to say, or do what you need to do, or have a little fun, or show them the raw you know what I mean? So that's something I'm working on, so I get it. But it's also something I understand. So I'm glad I'm at the point now where I understand it, because at least it's on my mind, I'm aware, and I know that that's what I gotta do and work on. Like, I know I just have to retrain myself, kind of.
Right. Okay. And I most definitely understand that with the content. It's wacky out here. But it's getting to a point where you gotta have so much of it to where you damn near need a team. Mm-hmm. So
I was just saying that. I was like, I need an assistant. It's getting out of control.
So in saying that, are you looking for a team?
Well, I have a team. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking to like add where we're lacking. Mm-hmm. Like I have, like my girlfriend helps with the road manager because she's with me all the time, and she's also a manager to another artist, so it's easy for her. And then I have my business rep who helps anything on the ins and out of the business or contracts, or just put it in place, anything as far as where I need to communicate with someone. And then I have my head manager who works for different labels and freelances, who has those resources and able to put me in the places that like a lot of people can't put me in. So I have that in my corner. And then I also have someone who helps me get into the clubs, trying to help me get into schools, as far as like after parties and club. He's a promoter. So that's like the base of my team. You know what I mean? And it's been going great, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're at the point where we all know, like, I have to start getting out of the Houston market. So that's why I've been traveling to, like, Atlanta and trying to really, like, get out there, because the DJs fuck with me out there. Like, they're not able to see me longer than, like, a couple days. And then when they do see me, it's like, oh, come up. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to get out there and stay for like 2 weeks at least. Like how I was doing in LA at one point, I was staying out there for like a month at a time, then coming back here. But that was like pre-COVID, and when COVID happened, it was just like, I don't know, LA hasn't been the same since COVID when it comes to the music industry. Just the scene period, it's became a little bit more on the private, like it's like harder to kind of like know where to go and like where to navigate, because everything is still like real, like they on some bullshit. They be making shit complicated, shall I say, for people who used to be the ones throwing things and doing things. So, but now it's kind of like you got to go out there for like BT or Grammys, where there's something around it, and then it makes sense. Versus Atlanta, you could just be out there in Atlanta. You could be networking with these DJs. You could be in these clubs. Like I went to Atlanta the top of this year, and my song got on the radio. Like they did a radio interview, and this was off the strength of someone that met me, was maneuvering us around Atlanta, taking me different places, and he was like, I know this guy. Now, it was a radio station, right? It was a radio station, I forgot what the city was. It wasn't Atlanta, it was another city that's like right next to them. I can't remember. But it aired kind of like everywhere. And it was crazy because I think that was the first time I actually had like a live interview as a solo artist. On the radio, and it was in Georgia. So I was like, man, I came out here in a week, and this not something they always do, because he said it, you know what I mean? But he was intrigued also by my story. They knew I was signed. They knew I came from being in a group, and they knew I had became a solo artist, and they had seen what I was doing, because by that time it had been like a year of me being a solo artist. So they just believed in me and was like, I want to put your story on the radio. I want to play a song. It was Look Good, which is my first track that I ever released as a solo artist. So it was just crazy, because I was like, man, it's too easy. When you go to these other places and they just see talent and they believe in you, and it's no monopoly to it. Unfortunately, I feel like Houston is a monopoly. It's an order of like process they feel like you got to go through before they open
the doors for you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Versus you just being talented, or versus they seeing the motion, or versus they seeing the hard work. It's like they still gotta see certain people hat you off or pat you on the back. They gotta see certain people, hear certain people talking about you. You know what I mean? And even then, people could talk about you all day, but like co-sign you, shall I say?
Right.
They want certain people to co-sign you, and then it's like, oh, okay. But then it's like by that time, niggas already made a name for that. They already at. They
already did it on their own.
Exactly.
So
it's
we don't need you no more.
What's really the real here? Like, do y'all really want to help artists get all the way, or do y'all just want to stamp yourself on there once they get there to be like, oh yeah,
they came through
right before they blow off, they came through me. And I don't think, I be feeling like people don't really think thoroughly about that. Like, I don't know if it's just like life be life and everybody worry about themselves right now, and it's just like I don't have time, or like they're just not, I don't know. I just don't know what it is sometimes, because it's like the bigger I'm getting just in the Houston scene, I'm starting to see that. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see how people claim all day what they doing, but in reality, they only doing it for certain people for certain reasons. They're not really doing it off of talent and passion, and this is something in their heart they want to do. They want to really help artists. I've seen so many shows and so many different events for artists that, to be honest, it's not worth it. They just taking your money. Like, these people is not gonna do. These the same people that you can get to in the clubs and this and that. They do these events and they're just taking your money. There's nothing they're gonna do for you after. They gonna still see you in the club. You gonna still come to them. They still not gonna play your shit. It's like, what am I doing? What am I here for? Now, don't get it twisted. I have built relationships with DJs to the point where now when I walk in a room, I go and I speak, or I'm, you know what I'm saying, shouting them out and things like that, and they show me love, you know what I mean? Like, I had to build my way up to that, but then there are also some that I've showed plenty of love to and who don't reciprocate it. And I don't know if it's because they just feel like they're too good, or I ain't there yet, or whatever. I don't care, because I know I do my part. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have a busy life and busy schedule, so I can't go out every single night, you know what I mean, to like go support a DJ. But I try at least like 3 to 4 times out the week, and then if I miss a week, then I'll try to make it up on the next week. Cause I'm always thinking out like, damn, I gotta go pull up on a DJ. I gotta go pull up on a DJ. Like, that's always on my mind. But then it's like, oh, I gotta finish these songs, or I gotta go do this, or I gotta go get some money, or I gotta go, you know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you have to prioritize things. And unfortunately, me going out and getting money is way more, in my head, more important to put back into my music than going to go spend money to go fuck with a DJ who might not play my music. Right. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, these are the stuff that artists, we think about and have to like prioritize.
You gotta find a balance.
You gotta find a balance for it. And sometimes it's like not fair, because I feel like some people make it harder than what it has to be with this music shit. Because like, what exactly are you, how can I put this? It's like, what exactly are you, what's hurting when it comes to you playing artist music from your city?
Nothing.
Like, what is it really hurting in the club? Like, even if it's at the beginning, before you at that point, like, you know, I know from like 1:15 to 2, it's like all the bottles is out. You want the popping songs, cool. But the club start popping at 12 to 30. You got a whole 40, 45 minutes where you could be trying to break a record.
You think it's...
And it's like, y'all just choose to either have to pay. Everything is money, money, money. When knowing that, and I get it. I invest in myself. I know about marketing. I invest in money on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't be feeling like, as a DJ, you're getting paid to DJ. You're getting paid to DJ right then and there. Now, if it's a nigga you don't know who off the street just came over here to play my song, then cool. It's like, nigga, I don't know you. I ain't never seen you a day in my life. Do you even follow me on social media? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who have built relationships with you, people who done came, spend money on you, bought shots with you, everything. It's like, at some point, it's okay for you to throw that shit up in there just to be like, all right, let me just see what the crowd reacts to. Because I see this person on the grind. I see this person moving. I see this person got some motion. Let me give them a chance. Nobody wants to, it's like very rare people. It's like a small little portion of DJs and people who are in these positions who are really out here giving artists a chance. Like,
what happened to people who wanted to break a new record?
I don't know. I feel like the older school DJs, they be okay with it. Like, I don't get much like lip out of them. Like, the older ones, like when I see them, they see me, it's nothing but love, and they gonna always make sure that, like, if they got my music, they gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no issues. It's like these younger DJs, I don't know. Or the ones that got like the clout to their name, where they know, you know, that certain, like people outside of Houston might know them because of certain artists that might have put them on, or, you know, like stuff like that. Like, I get it. I get you have a certain clout to your name, but it's like, again, if you know it's a good song and you know this artist is working and you know at one part the artist that you was fucking with needed that help from you as a DJ, it's like, what are we doing here? But maybe it's me and my heart and who I am as a person, and it's like, God knows when I get to that position, my hardest thing when I do get to that position is probably making sure that I don't help too many people. Because I'm that type of person who does want to help people. I'm that type of person, like, when I get there, I'm going to reach my hand down. There's no way I'm going to get to a Cardi level or even a Megan level, and you not going to know nothing, and you not going to know about my people in Houston, my female artists. Because I already made it. I don't care if they steal my fans. I already made it. I'm already at the point where they like me. So what does it matter if I introduce them to these other female rappers? If I pull my hand down, or if I once a month showcase a new artist on my Instagram, what is that hurting me? I got all these millions of followers. Why not? It's not hurting me none for me to put them in front of more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
I don't see no other female artists for real. Like, it's a couple of them. Like, Cardi do that. I will shout out to Cardi. She do that. But I don't really know no other artists that do that. They get these artists that's already, like, that's all at that wave of they about to come up. They ain't getting they motherfuckers in the hometown who they hear about, who doing all these shows, who got a little motion going, who got some good music. They not putting them on. They putting the motherfuckers who already got the team, already got the help, already got the budget. Like, them the ones they lifted.
Right.
When we all know how hard it is to even just get to that point. That's a rare point still to get to. So it's like, why not use our platforms for people who've been down? Like, these, I'm speaking on people who coming up with me, people who here in my circle right now.
Right.
I ain't talking about once I make them up, you know, like, I ain't talking about that. But I know a lot of artists who have no other artists before they make it, and then it's just like, oh. Don't have nothing to do with me, girl. Figure it out.
A deaf ear. They blind to it.
Blind.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was talking to somebody one day, and we was talking about a lot of OGs and all that in Houston. You don't really see them building a tree. And when I say a tree, I mean, like, okay, this is this guy, and from that tree, you got this artist and that artist and this art. Where's the trees at?
They don't. They're not putting nobody on. You're not having a legacy after you. You're not, like, creating a bloodline to what you like, what you want to present to music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even give you an example. I mean, I feel like at one point they was all, like, you know, the little Kiki and Zero and all of them, they helped each other, but I don't know about anybody after them. Like, that they really just kind of, like, besides, I mean, I guess maybe like your Propanes and like Killer Kelly. I mean, even then, it's like, they're not in the forefront of music right now. You know what I mean? You got these other artists that's coming up, and they just kind of made their own wave. Like your Maxos and your D Flowers and your D Babies and your OT Mexicos. Like, they made their own. Nobody came.
Yeah, nobody came in and said, "Let me lift you."
And then you wonder why when people make it from Houston, they just disperse. They don't.
It's like the
back.
cycle keep continuing because
nobody comes back.
Yeah.
And I think it's because everyone has animosity when they leave here because of how hard it was for them to get any support. So it's like, why should I do this for y'all when y'all didn't support me? I think that's how a lot of artists be feeling. Or they feel like the city turns on them. So it's like, I'm not coming back. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes that happens. And then sometimes I just feel like people feel like they ain't get no help. So why not?
But that's crazy too, because we're not talking about the people, we talking about the artists.
I know.
You know what I mean? You feel like the people didn't support you, but you got an artist.
Well, when I say people, I mean the people in position.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I don't mean the fans.
We're gonna say.
Because they have to support them to get to where they are.
Correct.
I mean the people in position.
Right.
The people who have those certain keys and doors that you need to unlock, who do have the resource to introduce you to this person or put you in the room with this person, and they just chose not to. Or they chose to overlook you. Or they chose to little dog you. So now when that person passes up all these people and they get that platform to be national, they don't want to come back. They don't want to help. They gonna keep their little small circle with them, but that's it. They not about to come back and reach their hand down or give some game or, you know what I mean, do anything for other artists. Like, I don't feel like there's one artist that made it and really came back and done something for other artists. Not an artist camp, not a facility for them to maybe free record through some type of. It's like I don't know not one artist that did anything when they came back that's from Houston.
Right.
For artists, like specifically for artists.
It's nobody. You right.
That's why I said I know I'm gonna do something different.
Right.
Cause I know how hard, I know all of the trials and tribulations I went through to get to even where I'm at right now. So I could just imagine when I get to work, what more shit I'm end up going through.
Right.
But I know how hard it is, and not everybody is some people deserve a chance. Everybody might not be shit, don't get it twisted. But some people do deserve a chance. Some people are working their ass off here. Some people have good hearts. Some people are really trying to like stay sane and just figure it out one day at a time. And some people will never get the help that they really need, which will always stun there and never get them to where they need to go, because some people will never get their help. And it sucks because a lot of people out here have good music. Like I've met so many artists in Houston that have mainstream level music, but they hidden in their little room and in their house. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't even know what good shows to do that ain't ripping artists off.
Yeah, just ain't
Like,
money grab.
They don't know what to do.
It's so many of those.
They don't have no guidance.
Right. Right.
So
right. So
that's why.
So you looking to blow up, come back and be big sister.
Yeah, to the people who deserve it.
Right.
It ain't gonna be an easy thing. I'm not about to just be handing shit out, but I know what it feels like to be an artist. And I don't know not one artist who came back and done something for artists, who specifically left something here in the city for them. Y'all coming back and opening restaurants and fast food places and all this other stuff that don't really, it's just to make money, but it ain't to make a difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you get to a certain level, there's so many different ways you can flip to make money once you got money.
Right, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? But it's very rare where you'll have something that lives on that can create and change people's lives.
Like, it'd be an impact. Like people value money more than the people.
Yeah.
If you make an impact on people, it's forever lasting. You know what I mean? It's planting that seed. So you're right about that. Man. Okay, so since you talk about the hardship, you mind digging into some of the hardships that you've been having as an artist?
Well, like I told you, the DJ thing is definitely one,
That's
because
one.
everybody wants you to pay them. And then just in general, like my image is hard to even keep up with. Like like I told you, I like to give looks, so I'm constantly having to financially, because this is on me, you know what I mean? I'm the one having to pay for the hair, the nails, the outfit, the fabric for the outfit. Luckily, I get help as far as studio and producers who believe in me. You know, I got my team on the producing end too that I consistently work with. So I'm blessed in the area of being able to make music pretty freely as far as financially. I don't have to spend too much money to make the music. But of course, you got to mix and master everything. You got to put money into your music when you put it out. You got to do the video. Then on top of that, if you want dancers, you got to pay for their stuff. Got to pay for the videographer. You got to pay for the set of wherever it is that you're going. It's just a financial thing a lot, especially when you're a female artist. You know what I mean? Then on top of that, you have people who be trying to play you, don't want to pay you your price. It's like, I know what I bring to the table as far as like shows and me having a fan base that I know will come out for me. I don't care if it's 20 to 60 people, but I know that I'm gonna help you make some money in your building, in your event. So you're gonna pay me my price. And if you don't, then that's cool. Like, I just, you know, and I've done favors for people. Don't get twisted, because people who help me, I'm gonna help them. But if I don't know you and you asking me to be a part of your event, you can't get mad at me when I tell you my price. You know what I mean? So I think in Houston, it's kind of hard for people to like take artists serious and want to pay them. And because a lot of artists don't be knowing their worth. A lot of artists out here just doing stuff. You know, even ones that I know on the radio, they out here just doing stuff. And I'm just like, you tripping. Like, because they got the money. They got all these chains on in the club. They buying all these bottles. They doing all of this extra shit. They busting down roads, bring cars on Sundays. Like, they got all this money. These same people that's coming at you, and they want you to do it for free. No. Does not make sense.
This is a fact.
So when you stand your ground and you do that, then of course, naturally people kind of start like, well, I'm just not going to reach out to her. I'm just not going to da-da-da. Or they going to have their shit together. So I deal with that too. You know what I mean? And that sometimes makes me have to, of course, go hustle out and get money other ways to put back into my, again, image, this, that, you know what I mean? So it's a constant like cycle, you know what I mean? Traveling is expensive. Like I gotta go to these other places in these other markets. I gotta pay sometimes for other people's stuff, to, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who I need. Like it's just always a financial thing. Now you can build relationships and get things done for you, but you're gonna have to spend money. It's no way around it. Like you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You're gonna have to spend money. And it's probably gonna become stressful, but it's like one of them things we have to figure out a system, you know? And I think that luckily, like as a solo artist, I don't really deal too much with like no weird shit when it comes to like men or things like that. Like I know a lot of my other female, and I'm speaking on this because my other female artists and just in general have had weird situations happen with like producers and promoters and things like that. You know what I mean? So as a female artist, that happens a lot. You know what I mean? I've been blessed enough to have a team around me and people around me where I immediately made it where I'm not really too accessible for people to talk to me or for business to be handled, for me to just get put in any type of sticky situation. But a lot of female artists don't have that same protection around them. You know what I mean? They're just out making, networking, trying to build these relationships, and then they get weird shit happen to them because they don't want to fuck with a nigga. So I had my friend just happen. Videographer, she didn't want to fuck with this nigga. He damn near tried to run her friends over and didn't want to give her music video back. And she spent $600 with the nigga. So it's just like the weirdest shit. It's like y'all, people be okay with wasting people money because of emotions. You know what I mean? That's not fair. So it's all kind of stuff that you deal with when you're an independent artist. You know what I mean? Like I could go on and on for days with examples. But those are like the main things. Like I said, I don't personally deal with it, but I had to bring that up because I feel like I need to bring awareness to that because I just think that that's something that's been going on for years in the industry when it comes to women. You know what I mean? Like even when people make it, you know, we always heard rumors about this person fucking this person to make it or this person this and then and trying to especially destroy women's character, even if it might be true. Most of the time it's not. But it's like when you get to a certain point, everybody want to bring you down. And I feel like they attack that angle, you know what I mean? So it's just, like I said, something that I just wanted to spread light on. But financial, I think, thing is probably the biggest thing that I deal with. Top.
Okay. Music locked in. The financial is one of the things that hit hard because you always got to get out there and grind and get back to put it back in and get back to put it back in. But you seeing results. Of course, you seeing results. And when you went to go solo, when you first started, what did you envision? Did you think that it was going to just pop off really quickly, or what was the idea?
I wasn't thinking nothing. I was just thinking the next step.
Right.
I didn't have time to really think about the future too much when I first became a solo artist. I just knew that I had to hurry up and get an image, a brand, and music, and start. Like, my mind was just focused on that, like nothing else. I didn't care about nothing else, nobody else. I just knew that I've worked too hard to take a break and let shit fall apart.
Right.
So that was where my mind was.
Got you. So okay, so what's coming up next? I know. Well, let me ask you this. You said that you've been going to Atlanta, and you said you went to LA, but that's kind of slow in comparison to how it used to be. It's a little different, really. Now let's not say slow. What is it that you like about Atlanta?
Like I said, I just like how they just come together for talent and good music. Like I feel like it's a little easier for you to just get in certain doors and for you to be able to be in certain places, get certain resources. People like if you got your shit together and they feel like you got your shit together, they don't mind helping you, and that's just that. Like they dead ass don't mind. I had people set shit up but didn't even know me from a can of paint, but heard of me from someone else, trusted that person, and set stuff up for me, and then we built a relationship from there. Like, you can't come to Houston for real. Breezy probably the only one that you could probably hit up if you build a relationship with her who will actually help an artist without wanting something in return.
And she ain't from Houston.
Exactly. So, Houston, I don't know. We got to figure it out.
Got you. So, what's the latest project that you put out?
So I put out Pussy Crack. It's my firstborn because even when I was signed, I didn't get a chance to. He put out the album after we left the label, so I never got the experience putting out a body of work. So Pussy Crack is my first body of work I've ever gotten to release since I've been doing music. So it's really like it's full circle. It's crazy because my favorite number was number 7. My basketball number was number 7. So I put 7, like, well, not really, but 7 songs matched perfectly on the EP. So yeah, I released it June 13th, so it's been like going on 3 months. Well, like, no, 3 months. And it's been good. I mean, of course, Thick is on there, so it's like still one of my top songs, Bust It Down. But Pussy Crack, I have a song called Pussy Crack on Pussy Crack. On the back end, I've been looking at the numbers, and that's also like one of the favorites. That and Ain't Fucking With Me actually got the star first, as far as like the highest streaming ones when it first came out. And Pussy Crack still been going strong. So I think I might do one more visual off the album, and I think that'll be the last one. I've done 3 visuals off the album. I think I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna move on. But I'm also excited because I'm getting ready to drop a song, 2 songs. I'm gonna do a double drop. Y'all the first one to hear that, but I'm gonna do a double drop. Me and Cuz got these 2 fire songs that I'm getting ready to drop. So I'm gonna drop that off at the 2nd week of October, right before my birthday. I'm gonna have a whole week in Houston, and I'm gonna be doing different events, and I'm gonna just be getting out there. Of course, I'm gonna have my HBICs. We're gonna do link ups. I'm gonna have them do something for breast cancer as well. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, so I definitely want to do something for breast cancer. So I'm just getting all of that in the works, getting ready to drop these 2 songs. I'm super excited because I feel like these about to really show people like, okay, she ain't here to play, and it's the one. I just feel like it's the one. I don't know. I feel like it's the one that's going to take me to the next level. Whatever level that is.
Got you. The name. Break down what Pussy Crack is.
Well, Pussy Crack is an aura. It's like one of them. It's an aura. It's like I feel like I have one of them auras and sounds that just keep you coming back. It's like real fun. It's real. It's like real fun and freaking at the same time. It's like something that you gon' move to, you gon' dance to. And so it's that Pussy Crack. And then of me, it's feminine energy. So it's like that feminine energy and aura that just gonna keep you coming back. It's like crack.
Got you. Okay, so that was interesting. For sure. Okay, so it's Uncensored Wisdom. And I tell everybody the same thing. It's like your grandpa or your grandma sitting on the porch.
Right.
And she gonna give you the game raw and uncut. She not just gonna hold back. So if there's an artist out there that wants to jump off the porch and start getting in the studio, what's your uncensored wisdom to them? What they gonna have to deal with when they get in this game? Female artists too.
Female artists?
Yeah.
Well, any artist should know if you want to be an artist, it's going to take money and investment. You have to invest in yourself, whether it be just spending money on or if you could become self-sufficient as much as possible, I would suggest that. Because, like, I mean, everything from your cover art to just everything you're going to have to think about, and you're going to have help. So it's going to be financial things that you're going to always have to pay for. So don't ever think that you could just become an artist off freeness, because it just don't work that way. Secondly, because of that, it takes a lot of mental strength to be an artist. And I feel like sometimes people who are not so mentally strong, it might be overwhelming for them. So I feel like getting yourself together and really like loving yourself and becoming one with yourself before you put yourself out there into the universe is important. Like, it's very important. Because I've seen people do music and it broke them. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because it might not have been their journey to have, you know what I mean? They might have been very talented. I mean, who I'm speaking on, she was very talented, but it just broke her. You know what I mean? It was just something that, like, she mentally was not ready for, could not be ready for. And I think it's important, like, because when I get old and I have a child and they tell me they want to be an artist, I'll be like, whew, let's go to counseling. Let's start that now. Let's get you in this, let's get you in that. Because you have to be prepared. You know, it's just better that way. You know, because these viral sensation hits who get famous overnight, they're not lasting. Because they're not really ready, and they're not prepared, and they don't really know what's to come, and they're not really real artists. Well, artists that can last in this type of industry, because it's too fast-paced. It's too much that you got to continuously absorb and learn. So you have to absorb and learn. You have to be able to, like, conform. Can't stay the same. If you stay the same, you're gonna be left wherever you at. So them my top advice.
Got you. Sunni Tha Rapper.
Gang gang.
Amazing interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.